Now what?
So, good morning and welcome back to the channel. As you can see, I'm in the car. I'm about to go somewhere very exciting and I'm going to take you with me. Okay, I lied. It's not anywhere exciting, but it is one of Lee and I's favourite shops when we are doing upgrades on Sofia. So this is what I've literally just picked up. I wonder what we could be doing next. On the way back, I've picked up some delicious breakfast for Lee and I. We've got a busy, busy day on Sofia. I don't think you can beat a sausage and egg McMuffin.
Okay, so work begins. We've got a busy day ahead of us. And we've drawn up Sofia's to-do list. So as you can see, there's a fair bit that we need to get through. We'll try and get through as much of that as we can today and over the next couple of days. We can already tick off the tool station order. That's already collected. So I guess the next thing is to go and fit the new carpet. So first things first, we've got to get the cab empty to install the new carpet. As you can see, well, you've seen the stains, but they're covered in oil, and the chairs have got to come out. But underneath the seats I have quite a handy storage area, and I hadn't quite realised how much stuff I'd accumulated. In fact, I'd forgotten I even had one of the hammers that was in there.
How many hammers do you have?
A man can never have too many hammers. I'm not even sure what that is.
Saying goodbye to motorhoming in the slow lane. Stickers all gone.
Seat number one.
You can see how bad the oil stain is and why we're replacing it.
Right, so that's it. One seat out. Time for number two seat. I think this comes out the passenger side easier.
What are you up to?
Just currently pulling this carpet out. Did you unscrew that one?
I did not. I had one job. I didn't do it. So, as per Lee's to-do list, apparently we need lots of coffee, so I am on coffee duty. Tell me in the comments, whose is whose cup?
I've cut off an oversized piece of carpet, and now I'm going to try and get it around all the nooks and crannies. It's not tiring at all.
You're still poorly though, darling, aren't you? I like the colour.
So 10 minutes in and it's time for a coffee break in the most appropriate mug ever. Thank you, Cass. Carpeting's going reasonably well. Just a couple of bodges to clean up, but it's not easy going over all the lumps and bumps in a cab, so we're getting there. Cheers. That's it. So I'm almost round the cab. Trims are back on. All the detailing around there is done. I'm hoovering it without doing anything. Okay, so we're nearly there. The cab is carpeted. The bulkheads are just having some new carpet put on them as well that I'll cut down to size in a second, and then we can get the seats back in the van. So almost there. So how far have we got?
So Lee's done a really good job of doing all of this. He's just glued some bits to go onto here. I'm just going to give this bit a quick scrub, and then I think we're ready to put the chairs back in, aren't we?
Fingers crossed.
All good.
Concentration on that face. So just before I put the chairs back in, I've stripped them down to the base, and as you can see, the cover that goes over the top of them is probably been the start of some nasty disease. I think it's minging. So we're going to see if we can wash them up. Failing that, I think we'll try and make some a homemade equivalent with carpet or some material or something. So let's see how that goes. Okay, so we're ready for the seat bases to go back in. A bit different this time. I've taken the seats off because obviously the base covers are being washed. First one on this base is to get the handbrake back onto the base because it mounts onto the base, which always makes Sarah a bit more nervous. So I'm just doing that now, and then we'll get the other base in.
So the bases are back in. Carpet looks absolutely amazing. Really pleased with it. We've just got to wait for the bottom carpet bits to come out of the wash to see how they have dried.
Okay, last little bit here. Just putting a bit of carpet trim in just to make the bit between the cab and the van nice. Got to go careful because our main water pipe runs under here. Huh? Okay, so the covers for the seat bases have been washed and they've come up a treat, so they are spotlessly clean and smelling good. And they're back on the bases already, so that's just a couple of hours. Time to get the seats back on.
Which seat is that?
This is your seat.
Oh, the seat that Lee broke a minute ago by lying in it and...
lying in the sun. Every workman deserves a break.
We thought it snapped it. Lee has done an amazing job. We just need to find a bit of trim for the edge there for the cab.
So that's our first few jobs done. So good day's work. I think we've achieved a fair bit, to be fair. Cab's looking much better. The oil stains are gone. Carpet looks great. I've just got one edge that I need to find some way of putting it down, but I don't know what I'm going to do with that yet, but it's okay for the time being. So she's looking good. Just done a few engine checks, and I think we'll just go out on a little bit of a test run. Test the carpet. So day 2 of Sophia's to-do list, and this is how it currently looks. As you can see, we're getting through. The carpet was fitted yesterday. We've still got to do the table, but that's a long job, and we will start that. But I think we're doing well. If we'd have drunk more go-go juice, we might have done better, but that's something to do with the coffee supplier, but we'll say no more on that. So I think we better get a move on.
Okay, so this is Sophia before we wash her. I think if I'm honest, it's going to probably take about 3 or 4 washes to get her back, so it'll take a little while. Lunch, cheese and chorizo toasties, and you've got drinks in the back.
See? Thumbs are useful. Okay, so Sophia's table was painted a couple of years ago, but not the best job. It's the original melamine table. We just put a bit of white paint over it, but as you can see, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, Sarah managed to put a great big dent in it. So the next job is to make it look a little bit presentable. See how we get on. Okay, a bit of Ronseal wood filler just to fill it up, and we'll start the sanding process when that's dried. Okay, so that is the table all sanded down and wiped. It's clear of dust and everything now. So now all that's left to do is paint it. So we were watching YouTubers Endless Adventure not so long ago, and we saw them do their table. They've stained their table because it was proper timber. Obviously we're just using a bit of old melamine, the original table, so ours is paint. So we're following a similar design. I have no idea how this is going to go. So this could look like a children's painting by the end of the day, or after the next couple of days, but we'll see. But hopefully it's going to become a little bit of a feature in the van. So the idea is 3 different colours in 3 sort of abstract shapes, and then treat it with a lacquer afterwards. We did want to buy a new piece of wood, and we might still do that once we've got a bit more faith in Sofia. So this will just be a little bit of a stopgap, primarily just to fix Sarah's hole that she's managed to put in it, but let's keep fingers crossed. So the first colour is on. I've gone with the black corner, so I'm going to go for a grey section over here next. So let's see what this turns out like. So we are nearing the finish of our table refurbishment. So I'm doing the last shape on the table, and then I've got a couple more coats to do on there, and then we can have the big reveal. So it seems to look all right at the moment. My painting probably leaves a little bit be desired, but we've got a varnish to go over the top, so hopefully that will detract from that a bit. But fingers crossed, at least the hole's not there anymore, Sarah.
And you can probably hear Lexi snoring in the background.
As always. So one of the last jobs on the list is to fit 4 new wheel covers. Sofia's lost 3 of hers over the last couple of months with the various recovery trucks and being tied down. So we've treated her to some very sexy hubcaps. So we'll be putting these on very shortly, and hopefully that'll tidy her up just a little bit more.
Sofia looking good as new.
So Sarah and I have popped to B&Q tonight. We just wanted to pick up some lacquer, the last stage for the table, but we ended up spending more money than we planned. So we've got a replacement socket for the van, because our one is a bit old and crusty. So we'll be putting that one on tomorrow. And safety first, a smoke alarm and a carbon monoxide detector, because the one in the van has stopped working. So we want to be safe in the van, so we've got battery operated ones to go in, and I'll install those again tomorrow. But the last job on the table is just to give it a coat of lacquer, and hopefully that will be done. So here we go. This is Sofia's newly painted table, all done. I've done a job on it. You can decide whether it's a good job or not, but I'm obviously not much of a painter, but I think it looks okay. A nice modern design on it, 3 or 4 coats of lacquer to protect the surface, because obviously it has plates and all that sort of stuff on it. So fingers crossed that will look good and last a little bit longer. The main thing is the hole Sarah put in it is now gone. So with that list now complete, all the jobs done and the table looking good, we are now ready to go out on our first run. So in next week's video, you'll see us on a shakedown run. We did this about 3 years ago when we first got her, and we're going to go to a campsite just about an hour away from here. It's one we've been to before, just to give all the little systems a bit of a test and make sure everything's still working before our first big trip, which is in about 2 weeks' time. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up, and if you want to see more, please do subscribe. Sarah and I have got lots of adventures planned this year, some of them in Sofia, some of them not, and that's just providing Sofia continues to behave. So fingers crossed. We'll see you on the road again soon.